No drunk drivers. In today's installment, I'm going to be talking about how I feel you can help someone during the grieving process. I've asked a couple of people, and surprisingly, or not to my surprise, honestly, there's really no textbook. There's no textbook 100% correct way to assist in the grieving process. I just thought about some stuff that was helpful, that people who assisted me during my process and are continuing to assist, but also just some stuff that I thought about that would be helpful. So this is what I'm going to share with you all today. All right, so I wrote down some notes. First, take yourself and your feelings out of the equation. You have to realize that if you're there for support, always keep that as your number one goal. That means taking yourself out of the equation. So it's more like removing your feelings or masking your feelings until, maybe you're by yourself or whatever, you think about it then. But while you're in the presence of the person that's grieving, just remember that you are there to support them. How you feel about things, what your opinion is, all that other stuff, that can be revealed at a later time. Right now, that person that's grieving, they're in a sunken place. And you have to remember that. So they may say some things that you may not necessarily agree with. But you have to remember, you don't, that's why I say refrain from expressing your opinion, depending on the situation, because a dialogue is always good. But if you feel like you're going to be going against them in a certain way, just let it be. Just don't say nothing at all. Be a shoulder to lean on. Listen to that person, because all of that stuff helps. You're not there to argue. You're not there to convince them otherwise and all that other things, especially in the early stages. Now, in the later stages, maybe so, but we're talking about the early stages. Right now, you just want to make sure that person is okay. Let them know that you are in their corner and that you are available should they need you. That's it. Everything else is secondary. So that's why I say remove yourself, remove your feelings from that step or that support. You get what I'm trying to say. Just remove yourself, remove your feelings from, not yourself, but remove your feelings from the process. Okay, next. And this is one that nobody told me about this, but looking back, hindsight, yes, this would have been very, very, very helpful, which is to set up an email address. Yeah, set up an email address. So everybody's been in that position where you've lost a loved one. And when that happens, you're like the center of attention. So all of your family and friends, they're pretty much they're waiting for your command or whatever request that you may have. And rightfully so, because like I say, everybody wants to help. Everybody wants to be supportive. The thing is, a cell phone is invasive. It is very invasive. I should have said the disclaimer before even at the beginning of the video. I'm not taking, I guess you can say, shots at anybody in particular, anything like that. These are just stuff that I've noticed, right? Notice. That's it. So it's not like somebody was doing something and I'm like, hey, you know what? This would be a good point to tell someone not to do because they did this to me. No, I'm not saying that. It's just, this is all general statements, right? All general statements. So if you use a cell phone trying to contact me while stuff was going on, no, this is not aimed at you. All right? It's not aimed at you. This is just general statements that I observed during my process, and I'm like, you know what, this part could be done differently. That's it. So yeah, set up an email address. Some people may be like, what do you mean set up an email address? Well, during that initial phase, everybody's looking at you for, like I said, they're ready to take orders. They're waiting on your requests, setting up the funeral arrangements and all of this other stuff that go along with the funeral arrangements. So if you have an email address, that allows the person to, I guess, address whatever needs or information that needs to be distributed or received on their own time period. So a cell phone is right at the moment, boom, boom, boom. The noise, the constant alerts, that stuff wears on a person. That wears on someone. So if you have just email address and have the person, like I said in the first step, if you're there for support, you can manage that email address. And you can see those emails or the requests. People may want information about when the service is going to be. They go to AC again. I told you, every time I start a video, there's always something going on. Either the AC, one time it was the spider. So yeah, I'm still looking around for them jokers because they're not about to land on my head. No sir. But so yeah. Where was I at? Yeah, email address. So the email address, it works both ways. Like you can send information, you can also receive information. And if you don't have an email address, then you have to get with the times. I don't know how else to say it. And I am one not to talk because I just now got on social media about a year ago. I didn't have one before any of this stuff happened. Did not have any social media, so I know it's if you're not technically sound or computer literate, it can be a challenge. But everybody doesn't have to have an email address. It could be just to point people in your family. But somebody take control, set up their email address. They can distribute and receive information from that point. And if it's something that the person who's grieving, if you feel that it's you should know, you'll know. If it's something that they need to know, then you can address them. But having everybody with the same question or everybody with the same request, and it's only one person that's handling it, and that person is the one that's grieving, that is detrimental. It's not conducive to support, and it has adverse effects. So yes, go ahead and set up that email address. I know it sounds crazy, but people will fall in line because most people, their hearts are going to be in the right place. So if they're somewhat bothered by it or irritated by it, that's fine. They'll get over it. But as long as they adhere to it, then it's all good, because now the person that's grieving, they get to address things on their timeline. So that alleviates that invasive stress from the cell phone, the ringing, the buzzing, the text, whatever that is. So yes, set up the email address. Okay, next on the agenda, know your strengths and weaknesses. Right? Know your strengths and weaknesses. So, of course, we're talking about the person who is there for support. So you know your strengths and your weaknesses. If you're someone who's very opinionated, that's probably not the right time to express your opinions like that. So I don't want to say that's a weakness, but in that environment, that can be considered a weakness because it's not conducive to supporting that individual who's grieving. So you may want to just analyze yourself, and if that is something that you're accustomed to doing, just be there to listen. Be like, hey, give yourself a little prep talk. Hey, I know this person's going to say some things. I know they don't agree with it. I'm not going to agree with everything. I'm just there for support, and I'll be that shoulder to lean on. And I'm going to keep my opinions to myself. And that'll be great. So know your strengths and weaknesses. If someone who's, let's say, if you're a great cooker, but you're not necessarily a good listener. So kind of insert yourself in ways of food. Everybody has to eat. So yeah, you can just do that. Maybe you're someone who's good at planning. You can insert yourself in that area. And, whenever that area comes up, be like, make sure or just let that person know whenever that area or that time comes up, I'm that person. So let yourself be available, give them your contact information. That way they'll keep that in the back of their head because, even though someone's grieving, they're still listening. They're still listening, and they know business still has to be taken care of. So everybody's aware of what's going on. Just make yourself available. So like I said, see, look, man, what is that? Man, I'm about to spray again, man. This seems like it's a wildlife up in this joker. I'm staying in the jungle. What's going on here? I wonder if y'all caught that on camera. And no, I'm not tripping. That was like a little fly or something like that. But it's crazy. Like they know when I'm videotaping or using this recording device. All right, so yeah, know your strengths. Know your strengths. So whatever your strengths are, maybe you're good at decorating something. I don't know, setting up things, scheduling, planning. Whatever your strengths are, make your strengths available to that person, and they will utilize it. So yeah, you kind of get the gist of that. I wrote down food. It's kind of, I guess you can say, elaborate on that. And because everybody has to eat. They got to eat. And when you're grieving, you just don't feel like doing anything. You don't want to go to the grocery store. You got to do all this other stuff. Everybody grieves in their own way. Some people like to stay busy. I know me personally, that has nothing, personally, just nothing to do with grieving. I just don't like going to the grocery store. So that was just added stress. So when people brought food, and I thank everybody who contributed to the food, because it all went in my belly. Yes. So I appreciate everybody who contributed to the food for your boy. Just know that I did eat it all. I ate it all. I ate all the food. I was going to tell some stories about that, but I guess I could do that at another time. But I appreciate everybody who did contribute in that manner. But yeah, so food, that way they don't have to go anywhere. You're stopping by, and also kind of give you a chance to just kind of peep your head and, keeping touching base with that person, kind of see how they're doing. And they're not going to turn you away. They may get a little upset, like, oh man, what this person doing? Or, I don't want to be bothered. But if they see you have a plate of food or whatever kind of food you're bringing, trust me, their mood will change. Their mood will change, and you can just drop the food off, head out, boom. Say, hey, I'm just thinking about you. Go to this food, drop it off, give them a hug, say what you're going to say, and then leave. So, yeah, that'll be great. Food, food, food. Man, it's late. I'm a little tired. All right, so here goes the next one. And don't pry for information. Do not pry for information. Like I said, it's just general things that's coming to my mind. I'm not saying anybody did this to me. Just in general, I'm good at empathizing, so I can put myself in other people's shoes, and I wouldn't want someone to pry information on me or vice versa. Everybody's had that done to them before. So when you're grieving, everything is heightened. So when you're someone prying, everybody wants to know details about what happened, how this happened. Like I said, I'm not even talking about myself. This day-to-day life, when somebody passes on, most people want to know details and all that stuff. That stuff's going to come out anyway. It will come out anyway. So just wait. That's all you have to do is wait. The information will come out when the people or the family or whoever it is, when they get ready, they will reveal that information. They will talk to whoever whenever they get ready. So that's why I say do not pry for the information, because maybe they just don't feel like talking about it, right? And if you're prying, all you're gonna do is add stress. Even though you just gotta know. Just hold off just for a little bit longer. Trust me, eventually they will open up and they will reveal whatever information that is. Most people will do that. So all you have to do is be patient and the information will come to you. Trust me, especially if you're in the family or you're part of the circle, the information is going to come to you. Just be patient. You don't have to go prying, sticking and prodding and poking around and doing all that stuff. That's not going to, as if you're there for support. That's not going to be conducive for support, right? So don't pry for information. I was going to do this video just for people who are experiencing their grieving in a more public format. So I guess I'll do another one for that. This is just general stuff, and it can work for this as well. It can work for the people who are grieving in public. That's a whole different ball game. A whole different ball game. Trust me, it is a whole different ball game. And I will do, matter of fact, I will do a video on that, because I feel that needs to be done. It needs to be done because it's like I said, there's no instruction booklet, but with the age of social media nowadays, it seems like everything's moving towards that direction. So I'm just here to help. And if my video helps someone else while they're grieving, or maybe someone who wants to be supportive and something happens to somebody who they know or one of their loved ones, they see this video, maybe they'll implement whatever was said and it helps them out, hey, then I think that's a success. And that's all I want, right? That's all I want. And I think that's about it. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up because I'm getting tired. Got the wildlife buzzing around in here once again. Man, that's a trip, man. Every time I do that. This time I'm not sweating though. Yeah, not sweating. Yeah, the AC went off and it is getting a little hot. But yeah, that's it. So till next time, I still haven't got about my other videos I'm supposed to do. I'm trying to get more active in this. Just scheduling conflicts, but I will keep the videos going. And thank you all for the support. Keep the emails coming. I have read those, and some people are kind of, they feel like they didn't want to intrude. No, that's what it's for. It is for you. It's for us. So email away. I want more. I want more people to share their story. So continue to reach out, continue to email. And it doesn't necessarily have to be me. It can be anybody. But put it out there. Put it out there, because we're all a part of the same team. All part of the same team. Yeah, that's about it. Till next time, peace.